Hello YouTube, and welcome to my 6-month review of my 2017 all-electric Nissan LEAF. And yes, this is also my winter review of the Nissan LEAF, how it holds up in a Maine winter.
First of all, I must say, this car has met and exceeded my expectations. I am so happy that I took a chance on the LEAF, as it's enabled me to live out the dream of driving an all-electric vehicle. If there was ever a question on its reliability, it has certainly proven itself over these past 6 months, and in particular the past 2 months where we've experienced prolonged sub-freezing temperatures. Although range estimates have decreased with the much colder weather, I found that this hasn't been much of an issue for me, as my daily commute is in line with the national average. And for those few times that I do travel beyond the single charge range of this car, I found that the ever-growing EV infrastructure has come in handy and has allowed me to push beyond the limitations of driving an all-electric vehicle. So, in a minute we'll go out to the car and I can show you what kind of range I've been getting since the winter weather has set in. You'll see how the battery performs in the extreme cold we've been getting this season, and I also have a few errands to run, so we'll swing by my dealership so I can hook up to the DC fast charger, and you can see how charging is affected by the cold as well.
So as you can see here, range is definitely affected by the colder weather. I mean, I've got the heat on right now. It's 12 degrees outside. So I've got the heat set to 70 over here, and you can see I've got 45% on my battery and I can drive about 39 more miles. Now, if I didn't need the heat, and again, in the warmer cold temperatures of like 30 degrees or 40 degrees, I can cycle the heat on and off. But when it's 12 degrees out or single digits or negative, you kind of need to keep the heat on. But here I go, I'll turn it off real quick. And just as an example, you'll see that mileage right there, 39 estimated miles, jumps up to 51 miles. And that's more like what I'm used to seeing in the summer, is, you know, that many miles based on that percent on the battery. When I charge this battery up all the way, I can usually get 120 or 130 miles on a single charge. But in the winter lately, it's been more like 65, 75 miles on a charge. And the other thing I'd like to point out here is my my battery temperature. As you can see, I have 3 bars right now, and I guess 2 bars would mean I'm pretty much frozen. So I've never been down to only 2 bars, and that's with the negative 20 degrees temperatures we've had here recently. And I think part of that is the reason it hasn't gotten that low is that I use the vehicle. Every day I'm using this vehicle. Every night I'm either plugging in at home, or I will, I'll do a quick charge, and that helps. And I'll do that later on in this video just to show you guys the difference. But by using the vehicle, whether you're charging it or just driving it, and not letting it sit for more than 24 hours, heck, I haven't even let mine sit for more than 12 hours, it helps to keep the battery from freezing, and it hasn't been as much of a concern as I initially thought it was going to be when I first got the vehicle. So here we are pulling into my dealership here, and I'm gonna go hook up to the DC fast charger, and I'll show you guys what it's like charging in 13 degrees temperature. And I'll get a quick peek here too. Let's pan down here. So my battery's still at 3 bars there, but you can see I'm at 21%, 26 more miles I can drive. It says I've driven 38 miles, but I don't think I charged to 100% the last time. I think I only got up to about 80 or 85%. And that's typically what you get with the DC fast charger, unless you decide to go beyond the half an hour. But I'm just going to plug in for a half an hour here, and we'll see how much juice I can get. The nice thing though about quick charging in the winter is it's going to help you warm up your battery. And as you can see here, I am now up to 4 bars on my battery temperature, so it's a nice side effect, and it does help condition that battery in the winter for you. So that quick charging session got me back up to about 75%, and that's not bad considering how cold it is outside. Had I stayed there a little longer, I probably could have gotten into the 80s or 90s, but that's alright because I'm going to plug in here at home and show you another cool feature of the electric car. Now in the winter, many of us like to preheat our cars before we head off to work. I know my wife really appreciates her remote car starter, but what if you park in the garage? With an electric car, that's not an issue, and I'll show you here how I've got mine set up. So what I've done here is I've navigated to the settings menu, and if I scroll down to climate control timer, you'll see that I have my departure time set to 7:10 in the morning, Monday through Friday, and I've excluded the weekends. By making this one minor adjustment to the settings, the car is now programmed to preheat the cabin anytime I have it plugged in during the work week, based off of how cold it is outside and what my departure time is set to. On days it's not that cold outside, I've noticed that it starts warming up the cabin 10 or 15 minutes before the departure time that's set. On the much colder days, however, I've seen it kick in a half hour to 45 minutes before the set departure time. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in. That way in the morning we can check out how this preheating works. So here we are the next morning, and as you can see it's 7 a.m. and here I go. I've got my app open, and you can see the graph here. The car's been charging, and it's started to taper off around 5 o'clock in the morning, and then it goes down to about 1 kilowatt, so that pretty much tells me that it's just about charged. But right here you can see how it started to spike at about, oh, what time is that, 6:45-ish, and it's back up to 3 kilowatts, and that's because the climate control kicked in. So we'll go out there in a minute and I'll show you what that looks like. And before I go out there, I just wanted to get a quick taping of what the temperature is in the garage. So I'm looking at 26 degrees in the garage, and outside it's 13. So here we are in the garage, and as you can see, the car is on. It's preheating. You probably can't even tell because it's so quiet, but if I get closer to the car here, maybe you can hear that. That's the climate control kicking in, or it's been kicked in for the past 15 minutes here, and it's preheating the cabin for me. I've got the garage door closed, which is good because it's a 13-degree difference. It's 26 out there, or 26 in here and 13 out there. So, but you know, with an electric car, you don't have to worry about turning on the vehicle because there's no emissions. So, so I get to preheat the car inside a slightly warmer garage than it would be outside, and you can see the controls there. It's lit up. The vehicle itself actually isn't on, but the conditioning of the vehicle is. So if I were to just step inside here real quick, you'll be able to hear it. Oh yeah, and it's nice and toasty in here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unhook and get ready to go to work. You can see the process will only take me half a minute, and then I'm out the door. There you have it, back up to a nearly full tank, and I've got 86 miles that I can do with the heater on. And because it's nice and warm in here now, you know, and I don't have far to go, if I wanted to turn that heater off, I could jump back up to 116 miles. So, and that's what I would do if it was, you know, 30 degrees out or 40 degrees out. I would just pretty much not use the heat, or just cycle it on and off when it gets a little chilly in here. Overall, the 2017 Nissan LEAF has proven itself to be an excellent vehicle.
It's been reliable, and I've thoroughly enjoyed driving around in a 100% electric car. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Bill Hensley. We'll see you later.